Sunsoft was a company with an extensive history of both incredible and a few less than incredible games during the 8-bit and early 16-bit era of home consoles. You might have fond memories of playing, say, their game Blaster Master, or their excellent NES adaptation of the 1989 Batman film. However, you might not be aware of this 1986 Famicom exclusive title, Atlantis No Nazo, which roughly translates to Mystery of Atlantis. Mystery of Atlantis was a platformer, falling in nicely with the platformer craze kicked off just a year beforehand with Nintendo's Super Mario Bros. In fact, Sunsoft launched the game with a very bold claim in its advertising, stating that Mystery of Atlantis is the game that surpassed Super Mario. Could it be that Mystery of Atlantis was this fabled Super Mario killer, simply hiding in relative obscurity after all these years? Let's look into the game itself and see if Sunsoft was justified in making such a statement. In Mystery of Atlantis, you take control of Wynn, an adventurer exploring a mysterious island named Atlantis that suddenly appeared before the game takes place. Unsurprisingly, the island is full of strange creatures and plenty of death traps. One feature in particular stands out, as perhaps the most notable one in gameplay: the warp doors. First, let's take a moment to cover the basics of gameplay. Being a platformer, the game consists of a healthy amount of running and jumping. Along with this, Wynn has the ability to throw bombs which explode after a set time, taking out nearby enemies and revealing secrets if thrown in the right place. You'll need to learn how each enemy moves and reacts to your movement, attacks, and jumps, giving the game a strategic edge not unlike, say, The Legend of Zelda. The jumping, on the other hand, leaves a lot to be desired. Compared to Super Mario Bros., which offered up tight, precise jumps that still feel great today, Mystery of Atlantis does not allow the player to control their jumps in midair. While this may not sound like a big detriment to gameplay just from hearing about it, you'd be surprised how much more difficult this makes landing your jumps, many times to disastrous effect. Another frustrating aspect of gameplay is the game's timer, leaving the player with a very short amount of gameplay time per level before the player loses a life. Given the game's variety of secrets to discover, this leaves the player rushing through each level, sometimes leaving barely enough time to finish it. In fact, Mystery of Atlantis is a game that's notorious for its difficulty. A large audience was introduced to the game through the Japanese television show Game Center CX, in which host Shinya Arino plays a variety of retro games. Arino struggled with Mystery of Atlantis, finding the game's length and warp door mechanic the most troublesome parts. And yes, it's that time. Time to talk about the doors. Unlike Super Mario Bros., the player doesn't move directly from level 1 to level 2, and so on, unless they're able to find the specific door leading to that level. When you enter a door, you have no idea which level the door will place you in unless you happen to remember where it leads or consult a guide, which makes attempting to play all 100 levels of the game a nightmare without a guide. Think of it like Super Mario Bros. Warp zones, except every single level exit is a warp zone. Even with a guide, the game is no small feat to finish, thanks to its less than stellar controls and progression system. Mystery of Atlantis had potential, but its crucial gameplay elements led it off the track to success. The game that surpassed Super Mario, it was not. But this didn't stop Sunsoft from barreling ahead and releasing games that would truly become influential. As it turns out, Mystery of Atlantis did play a vital role in the growth of Sunsoft into the Goliath of the 8 and 16-bit era it became. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you next time.